is the 5th time I try to film this video. Can't believe it. Now, what I have been rambling about is these two sketchbooks and how they came to be. A little bit about my background that ended up in 15 minutes of me rambling, so I think I will leave that for another video and will just very lightly tell you some things, but mainly show you my sketchbooks. For today I have some things coming up, but I won't tell you yet because it's not set in stone yet. I actually have 1 or 2 new things that I want to tell you or want to show you, but not today. So I thought a good idea would be to show you these 2 sketchbooks. One is the first sketchbook that I have worked in ever, and I started that in 2016, the same year that I started working with illustration. In 2016 I was unemployed. I thought I would be unemployed for a long time, so I started drawing, viewing a lot of YouTube videos and researching about illustration and all about the business side and things like that. But I did get a job as a digital designer, so that stopped a little bit there, but I continued, opened up my business as an illustrator and continued practicing and researching and getting myself ready to go all in as a freelancer. So these 2 sketchbooks are some of the first ones that I did, and I did them to practice and to starting having some portfolio material to show. The work that are in them is totally different from what you have seen until now, especially if you started following me now. So now you know there's no cohesive style, no nothing, and yeah, let's just jump into it, shall we? Now we are all set up, and the first sketchbook that I want to show you is a Moleskine sketchbook in a A4 size for mixed media and watercolor. I believe it's a very thick paper. So let's put the other one aside. This one is the one that I started in 2016. The first page I did in September of 2016, I can see. Before this I was just drawing and painting on loose pieces of paper. So this is where I got a little bit more organized. So I didn't have any idea of what I wanted to do or what kind of things, style, none of all of that. So I just had some old watercolors that another artist gave me for some years ago, and I didn't have any experience with watercolors either. So this is the first thing that I did, some flowers. This was a visit on a museum with my husband, and outside there was a park and they had a lot of flowers. The museum is Gård in Copenhagen. So, and I think I will not talk too much about each thing because this will be a long video. Then I painted this. It's also from the same day, just trying out painting these flowers in a little bit more tight style and making outlines with the brush. Then I was also very interested in painting faces, but not realistic faces. This woman has or young girl has a forest in her hair. So I believe I used a reference image for her, and the rest is something that I created from my head, and it's also with watercolors and maybe gouache or something. I was also very interested in food. I was interested I have always been interested in food, in cooking, but I was also interested in painting food because I had an idea that it would be very useful for cookbooks and magazine articles for editorial commissions. So I painted, this is in English, kale and some salad and lemon just with watercolor. And in this one I used watercolor, and on top of that I used pencil. So it's a little bit messy. Then I did this. I don't know the name of this vegetable. It's also watercolor, and on top of that pencil. I was experimenting in getting some structure in my work. I didn't like the watercolor alone. Then I painted some peas, peas. Also with watercolors and pencil. What I mean pencil is the pencil that you use to draw. Then I did some watercolor alone. Here I was trying to get as realistic as possible with watercolor. No, it's not alone. I did use a little bit of pencil, but just not as much as in the other ones. Salt. So you can see I had in mind here cookbooks and things like that. Asparagus, watercolors and pencil again. Not color pencil, but just the normal pencil. Some onions. Here I used watercolor and a little bit of pencil for the shadows. Here I painted some cheese. Again, I was using I think I used a little bit of maybe color pencils here. I'm not sure. Yes, I think I did. A bowl with rice. So here I was trying to find out how I would paint something like this, so complex like this. I did also try to find out how my signature had to look like, because I have my name is so long that it's not always easy to sign with it. Here's a plate with some rice. It's a risotto, actually. It was the previous pages were the ingredients for a recipe. Here I was practicing lettering. I did also have an idea to learn lettering. I still have, but I never got into it. So I was trying to see how that would look like. So more food related illustration. And this is what I would call illustration. You can also call it art, but I think illustration as something produced for commission work, to be used in design of products and things like that. That is when I say illustration, that is what I mean. Here's an olive oil, also still watercolor, all of this, and some shadow here with pencil. Oh, continue with the lettering. I was also trying to illustrate food in their packaging. If you live in Denmark, I'm sure you know this brand. This is just something that I did for a little thank you card for Christmas, obviously. Then I did more food packaging illustration. I'm still working with the watercolors and a little bit of pencil for shadows. More salt. Here I think I wanted to paint an egg, but didn't finish it. Salt. This is one almost only watercolors. A little bit here of texture from pencil. Here some seeds that I never got into finish. I think I got bored. More lettering and some, how do you call these? Herbs from my own kitchen. And here there's the jump. I then started to get very interested in illustration for children. And I didn't have any style. I wasn't super good at painting people and much less painting children. So I started drawing children from reference image and just experimenting with materials. And yeah, so here we have color pencil, we have ink, and we have watercolor. So you can see where I was at that moment. Again, watercolor, ink, pencil, all of it together. Here I was drawing some food with ink alone. So at this point I think I was thinking about doing things for children or doing things for editorial work and books. This is just something that I think a day I wanted to do something creative with my daughter, and I think we found a video with some ideas of what you can do, but I didn't finish it. Yeah. Here I took all of them, all the materials that I had at that moment, and I was still searching after getting texture in my work. So here there's pencil, there's black ink, there's watercolor. This, I don't know what it is. And maybe it's just pencil. Yeah, black ink and white ink and some charcoal maybe. Yeah. And I like how this page turned out. But yeah. More children. Yeah, this is no comments. Big hair. Then I started painting more flowers. And more flowers. So you can see how I have been researching after a style. This is watercolor alone. I did some without any border. Then I put some line work around the flowers, the white flowers. Just trying things out. Here is the same, it's from the same reference image, but I did use watercolor and ink to get the details to pop up, but I didn't have any idea of how, for example, to define a leaf like this. Yeah, I don't know with this one. Here I used a reference image from an old magazine, I think from an old advertising. So that is that. Yeah, then I started to get interest in, or I knew that I needed to be better at drawing people. So I knew that I needed to be good at painting people in different moods. with different facial expressions. That is the word I was looking for. Here I have only painted on one side of the book. So I found some photos of the same guy with different expressions. And this woman. And these three are watercolor alone. And this one. I was pretty good at finding the right proportions and things like that. But I didn't have a defined style yet and materials that I wanted to work with. Here is a man with a very funny mustache and a beard. I did this one with watercolor, ink, and a little bit of ink, black ink and white ink here in the beard. This one turned out really good. Then I did this one, a girl. I was fascinated about the hair and the wind, so I have several of them. Also on some pieces of loose paper. I also wanted to paint different races, different ages, so I painted this happy man. Oh yeah. The last page of this sketchbook, I wanted to paint with acrylics. I think the brand is some cheap acrylic. I didn't have any experience with it, so this is what came out of that. I didn't finish this. I was struggling with the painting, drying, and I didn't know how much paint to put on. I can clearly see that I used too little paint. I was working with acrylics as they were watercolors, so I didn't finish this. And that is all about this one. Oh yeah, some color backgrounds I think I did here. And I believe I finished this in 2017. At this point I still had this job that I got in February 2016, so I didn't have so much time to draw and paint after work. Then in 2018 I quit that job and got full time into this illustration world, and I was getting very interested in working with the children's books and children's illustrations. So in this sketchbook, which it's not Moleskine, it's another brand. I don't know the name, and there's no place where you can see it, but it has this logo on the back. Maybe you can recognize it. But I started practicing painting people and children a lot. So there's a lot of that in this book. So here I'm trying to find a style when working with illustrations for children. I had no idea what I was doing. Well, they are okay, the illustrations, but I didn't have any idea of style, how to say eyes, and I was practicing lettering. Here more children. I think here I started using wash. Yes, I did. And then in the Inktober 2018, I decided to make a little half an hour sketch with ink without pre-drawing anything of children. I didn't finish that. I have never finished Inktober, but this is one of the years that I got most done. So I just found a lot of images on the internet and tried to sketch them in half hour, and I actually really like these kids that I illustrated here. Sketched here. This one. Some children cooking. I also try to find children from different ages and different races, and boys and girls and doing different things. There's a little dancing girl. This one is cooking. This one is running and playing. We have a little dancing boy. I love this one. He looks so happy and has so much movement. And this one. And this one. Sorry, I have to turn the sketchbook all the time. I have a girl here, she's baking, making a mess. And I think something happened with the proportions of her head, but yeah, that is what can happen. There's a sad girl. It looks more like she is thinking, but she was sad. One playing with a ball. This one didn't turn up well, so I think I just stopped finishing him. Then I wanted to, I think I was getting tired of working with black ink. So I said, okay, I can try to use only one watercolor color. So I used blue and put some background in as well. So I really like these two ones, especially this one. Then I did this one. A girl and a little cat. Did this one. This one I don't like so much. She's very, yeah, stiff. I don't know, there's something wrong with this sketch. And I did this one, also with a cat. And this one with only a face. Oh, these ones. Yeah, I think I was trying in some of the loose paper pieces, I was trying out the eyes in this way. But yeah, looks a little bit strange. And this boy here. And a little girl. Very cute. Then a girl dancing in the shadow or in the light coming from the window. Dancing or playing, I don't know. A little girl. I think this is the same girl. She's very mad about something. A little girl with a cat. So very cute. Another girl. And another girl. You can see here, I haven't drawn them before putting ink on the paper. So I made some very light lines with ink with a lot of water in it, so I could draw the basics that way and then put some darker ink on that. Another girl. Walking on stones. And this little guy playing with water. A little girl sitting in between flowers and looking at butterflies. She's amazed. A little girl with a big hat. And got some boys. This one. And this one didn't turn out well. More boys here playing. This one looks, the proportions doesn't look right here. And this one, very cute. And this one. This little boy. And this one. This one is painted of a picture of my daughter. So it's difficult to paint when it's people that you know and it's more special. So I was very brave at painting her. She looks a little bit strange in the face, but I can recognize her. But yeah. And this is of my daughter too. This is much better. This was for her sitting in front of her birthday cake. And she must have been 4 years old or 4 or 5 years old. 5 years old, I guess. And yeah. Here I had another attempt to draw her too, but I stopped. And here I try it again. This is also my daughter in different positions. And my daughter again doing funny things. And this is also my daughter. The face looks poor. I don't know what happened, but it's from holiday vacation picture. This is also from a picture from my daughter. And those faces. I didn't get her right. Only in one of them. She looks very weird, but the expression is there. I can see her expression. Also a birthday cake. She turned 3 here, 3 years old. And this is also my daughter. Not quite yet the face, but I can see that it is her. I was struggling a little bit of how to get to make portraits of people that I know. This didn't turn out too good either, just from a photo. Oh. More kids and a girl here playing badminton. And here in another position. A little bit stiff. My daughter again. Poor thing. Oh, she looks a little bit rough. But anyways. And another girl. And I think this is the last one. No, there's one more. A girl running. Yeah, and that was the last one. So I hope you enjoyed looking at my older sketchbooks and you get some inspiration out of that and some idea of where I come from and what I have been working on and all the different things that I have been trying out. And as for today, I feel all this work has been influenced by me coming from the design world, having this mentality of doing things that have to be used for something, to produce something. And as you may see in my work today, that is what I want to get a little bit away from and do something that is a little bit more mine. That is what I wanted to show you today. I hope I can manage to edit this video and get it out tomorrow, Friday, if not during the weekend, as I have been having a lot of client work this week, and I'm happy for that. But it also means that I don't have so much time for doing my own things. I hope you have a nice weekend, and I will catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.